All right, what up guys? This video is how to buy your first property. So right now, real estate, buying a house is almost impossible seemingly to most people, right? House prices are high, interest rates are up, but this is how you can buy a house in 2025 going into 2026. These are the things you need to do to buy your first property. And the reason I'm saying this because a lot of people, the young generation, they're going into this new thing about cars. Everybody want a car. Everybody want a new car, a fast car, a Hemi, a Hellcat. But you know, buying a car that costs $30, $40, $50,000 and you are renting a house or renting an apartment is backwards. First thing you need to do is buy you a car cash, right? You buy a cash car so that you can buy a property. But if you already have a car, no worries. I'm gonna teach you the things you need to do to buy a house right now in 2025 going into 2026. And the reason I stress to you buying a property is so important because it is an automatic savings account. So you can be bad with your finances, bad with your health, bad with your car. You can be bad with your credit. But if you own your home and stay there at least 10, 20 years plus, you will have value and you can either sell it or you have equity and you can borrow against it. So owning a home a lot of times doesn't seem like today it's the best thing to do because the prices seem high and you don't seem like you're saving any money. So you like, I'm not gonna buy a house, I'm gonna wait till the prices go down. But mind you, prices very seldom go down. When have you seen a Mr. Good bar cost cheaper than it was 10 years ago, right? A Coke. Everything goes up. So same thing with houses, material. The lumber getting more expensive, the roofing getting more expensive, the plumbing getting more expensive. So how could the price go that far down? So don't worry about the price. Erase that out your mind. Your goal is to buy a property. Don't worry about price. The price is the market. That's the good thing about buying a house. You can go to a swap shop and you can buy a piece of jewelry for $1,000 and then go back home and come to find out it's worth $100. That can't happen with a house. You know why? Because the bank not going to even loan you to buy. The bank not going to give you the money to buy a house if the house doesn't appraise at its value. So you get a bank is like your second pair of eyes. I can want to buy this house right here for $1 million. And I love the house, right? But say the house is actually worth only $500,000. But I love it so much, I'm willing to give that guy $1 million for that house. Well, guess what? When I go to the bank and say I want to buy that house, the bank gonna go out there and look at that house. And they gonna say, hey, Mr. Gibson, that house is only worth $500,000. And you gonna give him $1 million for it? And I'm gonna say, oh really? It's only worth $500,000? So look at that. You got a second pair of eyes that is free to you. They gonna be backing you. They gonna look at the value of the house for you. So you don't necessarily have to be so paranoid about overpaying. The price is the value based on our appraisal. All right, so that's step one. I'm gonna write this down so we can remember it. So appraisal, a house must get appraised. I can add, but I can't spell, so we're gonna work with it. So that's step check one. The house will get appraised. So don't worry about the cost. Second, the reason I stress about buying a house so much is because you, like I said, when you own that house and live in that house for 20 years, whatever, you now have something that's worth at least, you're gonna have, say you buy, so I'm gonna give an example. This is a prime example. All right, right now it's 2025, right? You buy a house for, let's say, $300,000, right? You bought the house $300,000. It appraised at $300,000, right? So at that time, wait, let me finish. At that time, you feel like you didn't get a deal. But guess what? Every year, that value that you owe that bank, you owe the bank 300K. Now guess what? 10 years later, you owe them 200K, right? 20 years later, you owe them $100,000. Just say now, you bought it 300. It's been 10 years, you owe them 200. 20 years, you owe them 100. But guess what? In 10 years, it's worth 500K. In 20 years, it's worth 700K. So you see, this is your retirement right here. You don't have to worry about Social Security. You don't have to worry about that. Because guess what? If you stay there for 20 years, you most likely gonna have a $600,000 equity. Equity is the difference that you owe versus the value it's worth. In 10 years, say you stay there 10 years, you got 300K equity. Now this is next level stuff, and this is what I use to get to where I got to. You stay in any home for 2 years, you can sell it tax free. So that 300,000 tax free. That's 600,000 up to $500,000. So if you married, 500K tax free. So the goal is every 2 years, sell your house and move and make you between 100 to 300K, because it's tax free. Every 2 years, if you live in the house, now if you buy property and it's a rental property and you sell it 2 years later, you gotta pay taxes on that because it's an investment. But if you live in that home, you didn't buy that for investment. You bought that because you needed somewhere to stay. And in that case, you can sell it up to $500,000 tax free. So these are things that people aren't telling you about buying a home. Everything is about, I ain't buying a house. It ain't worth it. It costs too much. The interest rate's too high. Erase all that. You have to live somewhere, and you don't want somebody to be controlling your rent going up every year. So the most safest thing you can do is have a home. It ain't nothing but a bank account. It's a guaranteed bank account. Stop it. And you're going to save because it forces you to save. As long as you pay the taxes and the mortgage, you're going to have equity. So for people telling you, oh, don't buy a house, it costs too much, the interest rate too high, I'm not telling you go buy an investment property. I'm telling you buy a home for yourself, for your family to live in. That's the most successful people I see that are in their 60s, 70s, 80s. All of them are selling their home that they have paid $30,000 for, and they selling it to us for $300,000, $400,000, and they paid $30,000, $50,000 for these homes back in the 80s. So you got to think, if they didn't buy that home, and at the time when they bought that home for $30,000, $50,000, it was everything they had, and they probably felt like we overpaid. That's how they felt, just like how we feel. So you have to put yourself in a position to win. We don't know the future. I don't know the future. Even if somebody on here on YouTube telling you the future of real estate, they're lying because nobody knows the future. I can tell you the past, based on the past, this should be the future, but we don't know the future. If they come out with a way to make homes for way cheaper, okay, some might be different. But for right now, don't listen to the stereotype. And we're gonna keep moving forward because the next video is going to be the steps you need to take in order to get finance, to get a loan, build your credit, how to save up, how much you need to save up. So many people think if you got $15,000, $20,000 in the bank and you renting, and you want to buy a home, you can buy a home. $20,000 in the bank, $15,000 in the bank, depending on the area you're in, and 650 credit score at minimum, I would say. You can buy a home. So the next video, watch out, is what do I need to do to get my finances right so that I can purchase my first property. Thank you for watching. My name is George Do Real Estate. Peace.